How's it going, everyone? My name is David Arenas, and today we're going to be talking about Thomas Stonewall Jackson. He's on kind of up there with my favorite general, who would be James Mad Dog Mattis, who was a four-star general on the United States Marine Corps and previous Secretary of Defense during 2017 and 2019. Let's keep this thing going. Stonewall Jackson was a huge influence of the Civil War, um, just because of how he ran things and the tactics that he used. He served under Robert E. Lee and got his nickname Stonewall, as we all know him, by General Bernard Bee during the Battle of Bull Run in July of 1861, where General Bee says, "There's Jackson standing like a stone wall." Um, without fear, General Stonewall Jackson would just go into things and get the job done. He also loved, fun fact, he also loved lemons. He would use the oils from the lemon to shine up his beard. I guess you gotta stay presentable even during a time of war. And just keep on going. He was born January 21st, 1824, in Clarksburg, Virginia, which is now West Virginia. His father, Jonathan, his older sister, Elizabeth, unfortunately died of typhoid fever. His mother would remarry, excuse me. Um, Unfortunately, him and his siblings would have to go and live with their uncle out in Jackson Mill, Virginia, just because the stepfather wasn't really fond of him and his siblings. Stonewall Jackson was a huge Christian who believed in predestination. He saw himself as an instrument of God's will. Uh, Unfortunately, because of how he grew up, he really didn't get the best education and lived in a what came from a rough childhood. So in 1842, he would enroll in the U.S. Military Academy in West Point, New York. Because of the lack of education that he had, he struggled and was ridiculed by the others just because everybody, has something to say. With his hard work and dedication, he would graduate in from the academy in 1846. When the military needs you, they'll need you. So after graduating, not too long, he would participate in the Mexican War, and where he was noticed by his toughness and bravery. At the end of the Mexican War, he would earn the rank of brevet major, which is similar to a frocking, which means you don't wear the rank that you're appointed, you just fill that position. After his time in the military, he would end up teaching at the Virginia Military Institute. He spent about 10 years there. He taught tactics and philosophy. Unfortunately, because how he taught, a lot of students didn't really like him. The toughest teachers are always the ones that you bash, but always respect at the end of it. His first wife was Eleanor Junkins, who was a daughter of a Presbyterian minister. Sadly, after a year being married to General Jackson, she would die after giving birth to a stillborn son at the age of 29. He would remarry in July of 1857 to Mary Morrison, which they crossed paths while he was teaching at the Military Institute. They had two girls. Sad to say, the first one died a little less than a month after being born. Their second daughter was named Julia after his mother. The Battle of Chancellorsville was the end of a legend and one of Jackson's monumental campaigns against the Union. Jackson and his men exposed a break in the Union General Joseph Hooker's uh, flank and would force them to retreat. Unfortunately, as the dust settled and he and his men would head back to camp, he would be shot by friendly fire, which would end up having his left arm being amputated. Because of the lack of medical necessities, he would later die of pneumonia on May 10th, 1863. His last words were, "Let us cross over the river and rest under the shade of trees." Here's one of General Jackson's quotes, and it states, "All I am and all I have is at the service of my country." As the Honorable Bob Barker would say, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everyone.